Hello and welcome back to the Transform Me podcast. I'm Nelia.
And I'm Paula, and today we're going to be talking all things masculine, feminine energy.
Oh, yes.
And a wee question we got asked was about, you know, getting back into dating and stuff after being in a relationship, which kind of spurred on this conversation.
Yeah.
Especially after the Galentine's episodes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, guys, I'm laughing because we've just had so many technical issues today.
And we are in our masculine energy right now.
This intro has been done about 5 times.
No, we are
We've
here.
got this. We're here.
We are in our
And
feminine.
we're happy to be here.
Yeah, we are calm and collected.
Zen. So zen. We got this in. Anyway, let's get on with it.
Yeah, let's get on with it.
Why it's working.
Please don't let us down.
We got this hen. Right.
Okay, so
Let's get into it.
masculine and feminine energy. Let's just put it out there that it's nothing to do with what gender you are.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with your sex.
Aye, people get a wee bit confused or like off put when you say masculine, feminine energy, I think.
Mm-hmm. And really we should all have traits of both.
Aye.
So we're in perfect harmony and we're nice, balanced humans. And you'll know when you are in your feminine because that's when you're feeling soft and gentle and calm. And, you know, it's like that scene in Moana, and it's when the lovely lady comes out the hills and she's covered in flowers and
I love it.
she's in her feminine.
Yeah.
When she's in her masculine, though, I hope everyone's seen Moana.
Aye, if not, get on Disney Plus.
It's like that, like assertiveness and task orientated, goal orientated. You know, like the hustle culture. That's like very masculine kind of energy, which again is good that we have both because you do want to have those masculine qualities where you are, you know, driving yourself forward. And it's how you balance that out by still maintaining some sort of like empathy and softness.
Yeah, because sometimes it can tip too far to either side.
Don't
And
I know?
We have definitely both tipped.
Yes.
Probably towards the masculine.
Yeah.
Too far.
Okay, so how does that look when you're in your masculine? For me, that would be that I'm very assertive. I can come across very harsh, no emotion showing, barrier up, like very,
it's
very
the barrier up.
Yes.
That's me.
And just, you know, taking on like leadership roles and taking on that sort of nothing's going to ever affect me, that sort of attitude.
I am like emotionless.
Yes.
I'm fine.
Why?
When people are like, you okay? I am fine. Fuck off.
Yeah,
Literally,
it is.
It's like fuck off energy.
Yeah, it is. And even if it's not like in the sense like fuck off, it's very much just like I'm assertive. I'm the hyper independence. That's what it showed up for me. So I was just like, I don't need anyone. I can do everything myself.
I was hyper independent for years, years and years.
Me too.
I'm still independent now, but I let people in.
Yeah.
And I accept help. I accept love, you know, and that's me leaning towards my feminine energy.
Oh. Naturally, you come across quite feminine. You know, like you've got the soft voice and you're quite calm, but obviously you recognise that when you're in your masculine, you obviously behave differently. And it's fine. Obviously, we go through periods where it's fine to be more masculine, it's fine to be more feminine, but it's like try to find that balance of both.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm working on just now. I'm kind of trying to lean more back into my feminine energy after being very much masculine for a long time. You know, I would be like very withdrawn, distracting myself with X, Y, Z. I feel like that's all sort of masculine as well, like that tool of distraction. So when I would have been more my masculine, I would have been distracting myself all the time, you know, like being like busy 100% of the time. You know what I mean? So you're not thinking about anything. It's like avoiding emotions, showing no emotion, giving nothing away emotionally.
Yeah.
And then that kind of does show up when you start dating. And that's obviously goes back to that question that we got asked, like, how do you get back into dating if you've been heartbroken or like after a long-term relationship? And that is something that I did struggle with. So when I started dating, I was like mega masculine, giving big Paul energy instead of big Paula energy. Like it was literally like I had a barrier up, and I would just openly say to people like, I don't want anything from anyone, you know, I don't expect anything here because I've got too much going on. Like, you know, that's the sort of things that I'd be saying. I'd be giving out obviously mixed signals because on one hand, obviously, naturally that wee feminine side wants to come out where you just want somebody to love you and cuddle you and tell you you're pretty. But also I would just be like, don't come too close to me because you'll be binned.
Fucking hell, Paula.
Yes. And that comes from that hyper independence and protecting yourself, and obviously that way of just, I suppose like that would be normal for most people to end up like that if you've been hurt. And then how do you then start balancing that out? So for me, it would have been all the feminine things that I would have been doing, like feminine activities, you could call it, would be my journaling and gratitude. But that was all for me. Like I wouldn't have been sharing that with anyone else at that point.
Okay.
So that was just all for myself. So that would have all been like in there. So I suppose I had a mask on for a long time, like pretending to be this like hard nut. But actually deep inside, I was like
deep down here, I know.
I just want to cuddle.
Someone love me.
Yes.
Same. That was me as well. Like I was the same. Had this pure mask on, and then deep down it was someone love me.
And then it would have been more complicated though, because you would have been confused anyway. Like not being true to yourself about your sexuality.
Yeah.
And then you would have, I suppose, been like, which energy am I in?
Mate, my brain was firing at all cylinders. Like, and see, when I did start coming out to people and I could start being more gay, whatever.
Aye.
Like, I was so confused. It was like, I thought I don't know if I thought I had to be more masculine, but
maybe you thought you had to change.
Yeah.
But you
honestly,
don't.
I thought I did. So it was like, okay, well, I'll stop wearing dresses. I'll stop wearing skirts. I'll just dress a wee bit more masculine. I'll act a wee bit more masculine. I really lent into that.
Yeah.
And then it was through journaling. It was just through a lot of self-reflection that it was like, actually, sometimes I do.
Yeah. Like, I don't need to like behave like
I
this.
like a bit of both. Like,
and you should. But that comes in
the balance.
Yeah. But that also comes into societal pressures and cultural norms, and that can obviously affect.
You like football, which I do, but like you like football and you only wear football shirts and you wear like baggy jeans and shorts. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, well, no, you can like both. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's a fine balance, and
I think every lesbian's been through a phase.
Yeah. God, my
Lauren's
sister.
been through a phase. Yeah. She's been through a few phases.
Yeah, and it must also be the confusion, and it's been like what obviously we just said about you there, feeling like you maybe need to.
I felt like I had to.
And it was, you don't.
Oh, it was weird.
But that's culture, that's society, that's not actually anything.
It was like I stopped wearing all my like pink clothes, stopped wearing all my girly stuff because it was like, oh no, I shouldn't do that.
Try to make the statement.
Because some people know I'm gay now, so I shouldn't do that. Where it was like, wait, what am I doing?
Yeah, it's fair. That's confusing. Like obviously I can't relate to that because I've just always had the same sexuality. Well, obviously you've always had the same sexuality, but you know what I mean? Like
I wasn't out.
Yeah,
people didn't know that. I had that mask on I had a different type of mask, but do you know what I mean? It was.
Whereas mine would have been, I was always in a relationship and then I was suddenly single. So you completely changed then. You completely changed.
You really went hyper independent.
Oh, aye.
Yeah.
Yeah, like big time. So when I was hyper independent and I needed that at that time, right? I needed to be more in my masculine energy at that time because I had to sort of protect myself. Well, that's what I now would think anyway. But what I really needed was some self-reflection. Yeah. Which then I obviously really got into all that stuff, got into like my mindfulness and yoga and all those things bring out the feminine side in you. And then I would have been like, right, okay, am I actually being true to myself here? Is this who I really am? And it's easier said than done because I'm still coming out of that masculine energy phase, like especially being in a new relationship as well.
Yeah. I think also like for me, I came out of all these relationships with men and I just went into this super hyper independent state of I'm just going to be by myself forever, like because I was still in the closet and it was like, I don't want to be with a man ever again, obviously.
God, I feel like that as well.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but I think a lot of girls do go into that state, especially when they break up with people and it's quite toxic. And or even if it's not toxic, you just go through a heartbreak or a breakup. You just go, well, I'm never going to be in a relationship again. I'm never going to be with a man again. And I was going through this additional pressure of, well, I'm gay. No one knows I'm gay.
Yeah.
I'm still dealing with the fact that people that I was with said that I should never come out because no one's going to love me. So it was like, well, I'm never going to be with anyone ever again.
So fuck yous.
Fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm by myself. I'm independent. I don't need anyone. You know? And I really lent into that.
Yeah.
And it took a lot, like you, it took a lot of self-reflection to be like, hold on, I can let people in.
Yeah.
I can ask for help. I can have emotions. Because it was almost like I just put this full wall up of, I have no emotions.
Yeah.
I'm emotionless.
Oh,
I'm
that
strong.
was me.
I'm fucking strong and I feel nothing.
But people tell you that, so people kept saying to me like, you're so strong and I can't believe like how you're handling.
More.
Yep, that's it. And then again, so you're like, right, no emotions, just
I still struggle with it now because see, with my health issues, people say that to me all the time, like, oh, you're really strong. You deal with all this, all
which is a great
issues.
Quality. But it's a masculine energy.
Sometimes I battle with it mentally because I'm like, I'm not though. All like you're not seeing the hard days.
Yeah.
And I think if I'm always strong, I'm always independent, I'm always this tough nut.
Aye.
That's not always
the
best thing. Sometimes you do just need to cry, or sometimes you just need to let it all out.
That was one of my toxic traits. I would always be like, I don't cry.
The same. And now look at me. How often do I cry?
Yeah.
That's something I've worked on a bit because I used to never cry.
Yeah,
ever.
I'm the same. Even now, I say that I'm not a big crier, but I will now. So if I feel it coming on, I'm like,
you do let it out.
Let it out. Again, yeah. Whereas before, never.
But now I'm every night out, I'll cry.
So, right, think about someone, if you're listening to this just now, think about someone who you know that just gives off feminine energy, right? And it doesn't need to be a female, it doesn't need to be a male. Just someone who you're like, they are in their feminine energy. For me, like someone
Alicia.
who's... Yes! You stole that. Yeah. I was literally ready to say, my best pal Alicia is the most in her feminine energy queen. She genuinely is. And
even the car she drives,
everything about her is feminine energy, right? She's like literally the poster gal for it. When she walks, it's elegant and she's slow and she's calm and she's gorgeous.
She's beautiful.
Just everything about her. But she obviously does have masculine qualities, but she's very much, her skills are like feminine, which is lovely. And her masculine qualities would be that, she will stand up for something that she believes in. So it's like that assertiveness and it's like the leadership that she can take on. So, and then if I think about someone who is very much in their masculine energy,
I know who you're going to say.
It would be Sam.
Yeah.
Right? So another one of my best pals. So I've got both sides, but again, me and Sam are very similar like that. Like she would be, no one fucks with Sam. She's very assertive. She is very much like got her head screwed on.
Aye.
No one, it's just, she would take no shit from anyone.
Yeah.
And quite right. And also her job, she needs to be like that, right? But Sam also has her feminine side because when Sam's out, she just looks flawless, stunning, like she carries herself like very confidently. She walks with her shoulders back. She's just, I don't know how to explain it. So that's like, if you know both of them, you'll know masculine energy, feminine energy, but both obviously have similarities. So obviously I can be like both of them and they two can be like each other. But yeah, it's interesting when you can think about people. So think about your own pal group. Mm-hmm. You'll know the gals who are in their masculine. So like me and Sam would be the masculine energy guys, and then you'll get somebody in the middle like Adele.
Yeah,
I think Adele's pretty balanced.
She's balanced.
Yeah,
she's got it good.
She's like this,
Adele.
But right, she's not a deep person. She's never had to do any of this shit we've had to, and she's just so chill. Goals. She is the perfect balance, I would say.
She is.
And then
I've actually never thought about that, but she actually is.
Isn't she?
Oh, well done, Adele.
Well done, Adele.
Goals.
Aye. Just floats by in life. She's like, yeah, this is great.
What a gal.
Yeah.
Yeah, she really is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well done, Hen.
Go on, Hen.
So there you go. So you'll even have your own pal group where you can say, this person's very like in their masculine energy. I don't want this to come across being like, oh, me and Sam are pure masculine, because it's not like that, right?
Pure
it's not
tomboy.
as if it's not that. It's to do with energy, and it's to do with like how you come across and how you can be perceived. Yeah. And sort of like it's the energy that you give off. It's like, we've spoke about this before. It's like if someone walks into a room and they're like confident or they're shy, you can sense that energy off them right away. Yeah. And I suppose shyness is kind of like a feminine energy. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean to say that you need to be shy to be in your feminine, but I'd say that as more feminine energy vibes.
There's just qualities, and you can have some of them and not all of them for feminine energies.
And it can change.
Yeah.
It can change. It's not fixed. I think that's the important thing. It's not fixed. It's to do with where you're at in life, how you're showing up for yourself, how you're showing up for others. So it will show up in relationships. Something that I've had to work on is being more in my feminine energy in my relationship, because I would have been, very dominating and very much like, like if one thing was wrong, immediately I'd be like, fuck this. Yeah. Like no empathy. Whereas I actually am. So I kind of lost myself. So I would say
empathetic.
I'm an empathetic person. I'm a caring person. I'm naturally like to nurture. And I've always been in jobs like that. Yeah. So I've always been like support work and care. And I did nursing at uni, and I've, done like dental therapy and so everything that I would do professionally would always have been feminine energy jobs, you would say. And I just completely lost all that when it came to like my relationship, which is so crazy. Yeah.
Would you have said when you were in your sort of masculine energy era, did your job affect any of that? Because it definitely did with me. Yeah,
and that's actually it's interesting, right? Because masculine energy is leadership and assertiveness and dominance, and I stepped into quite a high up managerial role.
Yeah, you did,
which obviously then is reflected in that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so all of that stuff can obviously impact it then. That you don't even realise.
It did with me, because I was working in a men's world, and I really had to, because a lot of the time I was one of like maybe 2 women in a team. Sometimes I would be the only girl working. So it was really just masculine energy constantly. I really felt like I had to step into that role.
It's that thing where you have different masks for different places you are in your life. So really in that role you need to be masculine, but other people who know you might not even recognise you in that environment. Yeah. And
when I was coaching, it's a very masculine energy world, and you really have to step into that.
Oh, I can imagine. Yep.
And there's all sorts of characters in that. So I don't think I would even recognise myself if I went back to that.
And that's how it's important to remember that everything's a balance, and everything can obviously change. Yeah. So we went over the traits of what is masculine and what is feminine. Yep. And obviously our masculine is assertiveness, being logical reasoning, and that would sort of manifest and show up in you being like very like overly protective or of yourself. But then the feminine, it'll be qualities like nurturing, caregiving, and then that can show up being quite passive, maybe feeling like you're a bit over like protective in a different kind of way, like more like in a shy way, being protective of yourself like that. So tips to bring out more feminine energy, if that is something that you need to do. Guilty. It would be things like yoga is great for bringing out feminine energy, journaling, being in nature.
Oh, there she goes.
There I go again with the
There
journaling.
she goes.
So being in nature, if you are someone that likes to be outside, that brings out feminine energy, because it's that whole doing things that are self-care, good for the mind, good for the soul. If you
grounding as well.
What'd you say?
It's grounding as well.
Grounding, yes. Again, a feminine energy. If you're trying to get more into your masculine energy, so if you feel like maybe you're too much in your feminine and you're being passive with a lot of things, set yourself some goals. Set yourself some deadlines to be like, I'm going to get this done. Be really assertive with yourself.
Yeah.
And another way that you can obviously tap into that is actually trying to be more logical with decision making and not being overly emotional with it.
Yeah.
When you're too much in your feminine, you'll base things off of how you're feeling in that moment. So when I'm maybe feeling in my feminine and it's like emotions starting to take over, something that I can do quite well is reflect and be like, right, give this a bit of time, be logical about it. So then that's how you kind of tip the two. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I think also to try and tap into your feminine energy, which is what we are both trying to do at the minute.
Yeah.
A lot of self-care.
Yeah.
You know, trying to do, at the moment, I'm trying to just to do one thing a month just for me.
Yes.
So whether it's like a wee massage or we day trip,
me too,
or we're going to do a yoga class a week just for us. I think as yoga teachers, it's quite hard to lose yourself a bit when you're just teaching. And
when you're just teaching, I suppose that's a masculine energy.
No, it is.
Because you're the leader.
You're in a leadership role.
Yeah.
And actually we need to tap into that feminine energy, and we need to tap into just go into a class and switch off and take time for ourselves.
Yeah.
So a lot of self-care, I think, comes into feminine energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you are someone, again, who is trying to tip it either way, and you're maybe thinking, I don't know where I am, it's quite helpful if you just make a list of like, what am I showing up like?
Yeah.
And if you are showing up and it is like, you know, I'm very emotionless, or I am struggling to set boundaries.
Yeah.
So if it's like emotionless, you know, it's masculine. If you're struggling to set boundaries, it's feminine. And
I just seeing it on paper, and then you can maybe make a plan.
Yes, you might not even be aware of any of this stuff. I would never have thought about any of this stuff in the past.
No, same.
I would have been like, what the fuck are they on about?
It was only really until I started doing the work and self-reflection.
Yeah.
Because for years I was doing this stuff and I was so unaware.
Yep.
So blissfully unaware, or not so blissfully, but you know,
and then
no
you
idea
start, you start all the inner work. You're like,
we're both the same.
Oh shit.
No.
It's very interesting though. Actually, is it something that's worth sort of looking into if you haven't really thought about it, especially if you are someone who's in the dating world or you're in a new relationship. These things can start to show up and manifest in different ways without you even fucking realizing. So someone asked for tips on how to get back into dating, especially if you're an overthinker and you're like an anxious soul.
I think when you are trying to get into dating and you are a wee bit anxious and nervous about it, it sounds really annoying, but you just have to get into it.
Yeah.
You just have to go.
Yeah, you're always going to feel a wee bit nervous.
I'm always nervous before a date. Like, that's just, it is how it is. Like, I do get really nervous before dates, but I think that's probably a good sign.
Yeah.
You know, I think if you went into every date like really super confident and cocky about it, that's probably not a good trait to have.
And actually, I think you'd only do that if you're not really looking for something.
Yeah.
Which obviously I wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
And then obviously things happen. You catch feelings when you didn't want to. Like, obviously the only person I did date was William.
Yeah. And look where we are.
And look, so yeah. Do you know what? You need to be prepared for that. If you're saying you don't want to catch the feels, you will catch. You may still catch the feels. Maybe for you though, like you're dating, looking for a relationship. So that's maybe why you're feeling more nervous about it.
Yeah,
because there's obviously emotion behind it. There's a good why behind it. There's your feminine energy behind it.
Feminine energy.
Whereas I wasn't. I was like, oh, okay, someone wants to go out and get pissed. Let's go for it. Like,
exactly. And then the like, feels started to happen. It was like, oh shit,
God, like this man is a lovely soul. Fuck.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
I did not want
like,
this.
See, with me at the minute, I'm trying just to maybe every couple of weeks I'll set up a date with someone.
Yeah, good.
And if that date goes well, then set up another date with them the following week. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just about putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
And just going with it.
Yep.
And taking that first step is really hard.
It is.
Just do it.
Make sure though that you're feeling good about yourself. If you're not feeling good about yourself and you're still, you know, really struggling every day, I would say that's not a good time to date because I'll be honest, dating takes up a lot of your fucking time and energy.
No, doesn't it?
It really, really does, because then especially
really
if you catch the feels.
It's like admin.
And then messes up with your head and you're like, oh shit, what's going on here? It is like admin.
Yeah, it is.
Because you
like,
need to...
I've taken breaks from it. Do you know, like it's been like, but no, right, come on now. I need to take some time back for myself again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you do have to really feel good about yourself, because going into it,
and I did,
you know,
like I was like that overly confident, but obviously still unhealthy-ish vibes. Like I was just obviously craving validation. And don't get me wrong, you're always going to get a bit of both, right? So obviously when you've been really hurt, that's normal to do that. And you know, you can go to all the therapy in the world and do all the deep work, but there's still going to be a part of you that it feels good to be wanted by someone else. It feels good to be loved by someone else, because when you're heartbroken, what happens is you feel rejected. And when you feel rejected, what do you want? You want someone to validate you after that. And we all do it. No matter how, you know, woke that you think you are and how much you've sorted your shit out, that is something that's always going to creep up. But then that's a natural part of relationships as well. Like, so obviously you crave that off your partner.
Yeah.
So as human beings, we're always going to want that wee bit of validation for other people. Yeah. And as much as we are self-love queens who are like, love yourself first and all that, it does feel good to still get it for other people. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just making sure though that you are going to be all right if that person doesn't love you or doesn't want to be with you. You need to be okay with that, because that obviously naturally happens all the time in the dating world. Yeah. Which we've discussed before.
Oh yes.
So if you're sure that this is something that you really want for you and you're ready to move on, take those tips on board.
Like, it's good to dip your toe. You know?
And what you might realise when you start dating as well is you will find qualities in other people who you're like, oh God, like I've never thought that I was attracted to that, or I never thought I would have went for someone with these qualities. And that happens quite a lot with people. Like you hear people who they've met through Tinder or Hinge, you know, didn't really know each other, and then don't be ashamed of using dating apps as well, right? Yeah. There's such a taboo about it.
I don't get it.
We've discussed this before. This is just the normal fucking way that people do it now. Like
2025.
Aye. Everything's online, like even Zoom calls with like bloody job interviews, they're online now. So
everything's online. Come on now.
Yeah, just make sure that you do your research.
A lot of people are lying out there being like, oh, we met this way. And actually they did meet on a dating app. And I'm like, get a grip.
I mean, it's fine now, but at the time I was just like, oh God, I don't want to catch feelings for anyone. Oh my God.
Fuck's sake.
Be prepared for that, gal, if you are still in that, oh, I don't want anything either.
I know.
It happens when you least expect it.
Oh, God. Oh dear, look where you are now. Hen.
Look at us now, exactly. Don't be scared to put yourself out there, and don't be scared to just say aye to different things. Like,
I know.
yeah,
It's the best way to do it.
mm-hmm. There we go. We've went over different masculine and feminine energies.
Mm-hmm.
Please always remember it's nothing to do with genders, sex, nothing like that at all.
Nope.
It is purely just balancing energies of how you show up and how you will show up in relationship or different areas of your life. It's the energy that you're giving off. So again, a wee bit of the spiritual side, I suppose you could say, as well,
like
as
an
when
aura.
you come into it. Yeah, it's different auras that you're giving off. And if you are, getting back into dating after a relationship, just
do it.
yeah. Like,
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Mhm.
Let's bring that one back up.
yeah, exactly. And remember that it can go, there's going to be ups and downs in dating. It's not going to be perfect, and it's not, especially when you've been hurt before. What this could do is, if you start dating, bring up a lot of this stuff to be
Yeah.
like, this is actually how I'm showing up. So
Mhm.
yeah, have
Yeah.
fun with it. Like, don't put any expectations, just enjoy yourself.
I know, guys, it can actually be really fun.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. It's a
Change
good
your
time.
perspective to, it's just fun. That's
Yeah.
what I done. I was just like, oh, this is just fun. I'm not
You
expecting
meet
anything.
new people, it's fun.
Yeah. And hopefully they'll be very nice to you and buy you drinks all night,
Oh, aye.
which is the best part. Like, a couple of our pals, when they go on dates, that's the big thing. They're just like, it's just good to go out all night and somebody pay for drinks because it's fucking expensive these days.
Well, try being gay.
Oh,
Drinks on me, hen.
God, aye. So if you're still listening, thank you. And we hope you took something valuable from this. As always, if you need it cleared up, just give us a wee message and we shall speak to you at the next episode.
Yes. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
Love
you. Love yous. Bye.